Today's episode is brought to you by Venmo. Look, no matter how your favorite team does this season, there's still one way to feel like a winner, and that's with Venmo. That's because when you use Venmo to transfer $50 or more to a DraftKings DFS account for the first time or the first time in 3+ months, you'll get $25 in DraftKings bonus credits. Terms apply. Just go to DraftKings.com/Venmo offer to activate your offer. Then choose Venmo to add funds to your DraftKings account, add $50 or more, and boom! 25 bonus credits will appear in your DraftKings account if you're eligible. This offer is only good through February 15th, 2026, or while supplies last, so don't fumble your chance before time runs out. Here's the deal. Venmo is a fast, easy way for you to add money onto DraftKings. And if you don't have a Venmo account yet, don't sweat it. You can download the app and sign up in minutes. So what are you waiting for? Just add $50 or more to your DraftKings DFS account with Venmo, and you'll get $25 in bonus credits. Go to DraftKings.com/Venmo offer and go get that bonus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. 18 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. One per customer. Minimum $50 transfer from your Venmo account to DraftKings DFS account. $25 reward issued as non-withdrawable DK Dollars site credits that do not expire while rewards last. 20,000 total transfer redemptions available. See terms at www.draftkings.com/Venmo offer. Ends February 15th, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern.
All right, kicking things off with Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the NFL and the number one vodka in the world. Chris Cody, you're here.
Smirnoff!
Wow, you're on the money with Smirnoff.
Smirnoff!
Chris, you know what goes great with Smirnoff?
Smirnoff!
Yes, but I'm really talking about game day fit. The style's got to match the vibe.
Smirnoff!
All right, here's the deal. Game day is everything, and that's exactly why your fit has to match the occasion.
Smirnoff!
Starting this December, Smirnoff is giving fans 21 and over the chance to score limited edition Smirnoff commission merchandise from some of today's top creators, including Kayla Jones, Gavin Matthew, and Aleli May.
Smirnoff!
Here's the kicker. One lucky fan will take home the grand prize, a trip to the biggest game of the offseason. Plus, one fan will win Aleli May's one-of-one game day jacket.
Wow.
The merch will be dropped on select dates from December to January 21, and it's all courtesy of what brand?
Smirnoff!
That's right, Chris. Fans 21 and over can head to Smirnoff Socials to learn how to sign up. And don't forget to grab a bottle of Smirnoff vodka, number 21 at your local retailer.
Smirnoff!
Please drink responsibly.
Smirnoff!
Number 21 vodka distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anybody under legal drinking age.
Smirnoff!
No purchase necessary. Must be legal U.S. resident, 21 or older. Sweepstakes starts 12/15/2025 at 12 a.m. Eastern and ends 1/23/2026 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. See official rules at program website.
Critics are calling Marty Supreme a full-throttle masterpiece and the best movie of the year. I couldn't be more excited to see this one. That's got my boy, Timothée Chalamet. From A24 and starring Timothée Chalamet alongside powerhouse cast Gwyneth Paltrow, Odessa Ozion, and Tyler Akoma. Marty Supreme, now playing only in theaters.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
The day after Christmas, Jeremy.
Well, that's tomorrow because this is hour 2 of Christmas Day.
Oh, once you get to the back half of Christmas, you're already starting to think,
well, you just heard all of that great Christmas stuff. You know what I mean? And so as a result, you were thinking like, oh my God, how could there possibly be more?
Sometimes I get ahead of myself.
How could there possibly be more? And
let's finish Christmas before we get to the day after
how
Christmas.
about this little Christmas treat? Alan Thicke.
Oh. 2
different interviews with the gone but not forgotten Alan Thicke.
Hello.
These are great interviews. I think based off of the tone of the very first one, I think it's the first time he was ever on the show.
Tomas Hertl?
Back in 2009.
Yeah.
And he does that, and then the second interview begins by talking about the 2011 Vancouver Canucks going to the Stanley Cup Final. So he's there as a hockey expert.
One of the all-time friends of the show, R.I.P.
Yeah, the energy in these interviews, it's spectacular. So R.I.P. the great Alan Thicke, and enjoy this little Christmas treat, hour 2 with our guy Alan Thicke.
This is very exciting, Stugotz, because this is a man who is among the most famous television sitcom dads ever. But what I wonder, and what I think a lot of people don't know, Stugotz, I was stunned to learn this, is that he also wrote the theme songs for Facts of Life, and Different Strokes. It can be argued, yes, successfully, Alan, that you were more successful as a writer of songs than you were as an actor, even though you were successful at both?
Well, I did write a bunch of theme songs, some of which are still on ringtones today. But I wasn't really a musical artist. I had 4 or 6 chords that I kept recycling. And since my son has become such a wonderful artist, I don't call myself a musician anymore.
Well, but still, though, Alan, I mean, this is kind of amazing. How much money do you actually make just from the fact that you wrote 2 of the most famous television songs ever written?
I made enough to have 3 prenups. I'm on my 3rd marriage. A delightful woman who, in fact, I owe my acquaintanceship with her to the Florida Marlins. I was emceeing a fundraiser for them some years ago. She was a model on the show, so I did what any self-respecting actor would do. I hit on her, and we've been together for 10 years now. As of this Saturday, 10 years.
The Marlins?
Yeah. Florida Marlins had a big banquet, and they were nice enough to bring me in to host it, and the rest was matrimonial history.
Well, how did this happen? Why? I don't even understand. I don't remember this. I've been in South Florida all my life. I don't remember you hosting some sort of fundraiser and meeting your wife at a Marlins fundraiser.
No, you see, we kept you out of the loop in a lot of that detail, Dan, but it really happened. It was 10 years ago this month.
And your son, for those who don't know, Alan Thicke, I mean, he is enormously accomplished.
He's pretty terrific, and very proud of him. You know, it's as much fun as it is to do things in your own career. It's even more fun, I think, when your kids do it.
Somebody's writing in, it was Jim Leland's wife, Thicke is a homewrecker. Now, I think I would have heard of it if that was the case.
No, this is a young woman never married before, and we plucked her from the runways of Miami, and we're doing fine ever since.
You're kind of a pimp.
No, the pimp would be procuring hookups for somebody else. I'm more selfish than that.
Right, I say you're procuring the, procuring the hookups for yourself.
Where do you rank, Alan? We had this discussion earlier. Where do you think you rank as far as top TV sitcom dads of all time?
I placed in the 30s somewhere in a recent TV guide poll, so I've got to go with them.
Do a lot of people call out to you, Mr. Seaver? Do they say to you lines from the show?
I do that. I get a lot of, hey, where's Mike? You know, and did he finish his homework? And, hey, Dr. Seaver, and, that kind of thing. And I'm proud of that role. It was, there was some family values that we all try to aspire to. And so, we had 7 great seasons, and if that goes on my tombstone, I'm happy with that.
When did that become annoying, honestly?
No, never, honestly. It doesn't. As I said, I'm proud of the role, proud of the show, what it stood for. And it really was the end of a breed. Back in the early 90s, the Nielsen research people discovered that households now had 2 televisions, so they could make one show for kids and one for the grown-ups, and they'd watch separately. We were the last of a breed of the so-called family hour, where you had to make shows for everybody to watch together, and that was The Cosby Show, Full House, Family Ties, Who's the Boss, and Us.
It's interesting because we were just discussing before you came on, there are no more television dads. It's gone. The breed, it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, they're still around, but they're way more interesting. In fact, my new favorite show is Modern Family, where Sofia Vergara plays my wife and Ed O'Neill plays me. They're really kind of acting out our story there. Tanya is a hot young Latina, and I'm a middle-aged, and that's being generous, middle-aged guy married before with a blended family. We're getting a big kick out of that show.
You seem to be very happy with your marriage.
I am. I've been happy with all of them.
Alan Thicke with us on 790 here. We've got a variety of different things to talk to him about. Stugotz, I had no idea. He also wrote the theme songs for Wheel of Fortune and Joker's Wild. Do you realize how ever-present Alan Thicke is in every part of your life?
No.
My music is the soundtrack of the dark side of your life.
Which is the one you like the best? The one that you say you're proudest of?
Well, Facts of Life had the most clever rhyme scheme, I think. And it was always a bit of a challenge, a bit of an art form to write those jingles for sitcoms, because your challenge was to explain the whole show and put it in context and set you up, and you had 24 seconds to do it, and had to try to make it reasonably memorable musically too. So it was an interesting job, and I liked what we accomplished in the rhyme of that. On Different Strokes, I sang that theme. That's my voice, probably an octave and a generation earlier. But that one's paid. What happens now is that, the ringtones technology didn't even exist back then, but nowadays, apparently, college kids go into a bar and after hoisting a little beer pong, they bet each other on who can remember the most lyrics from shows their parents watched, and that's how I make my money these days.
It's the holiday season and the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite. The holiday is all about spending time with friends and family. Why don't you sit back and toast a few Miller Lites? Make your holiday time 'tis Miller time. And with the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite, you get to remember and reflect on all the good times that you had with your trusty buddy by your side, Miller Lite. Brewed for flavor with simple ingredients like malted barley, rich, balanced toffee notes, and that iconic golden color. And at 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it lets you enjoy the season without weighing you down. The original light beer since 1975, and still hitting different 50 years later. The best holiday beers are the ones you don't expect. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. 'Tis Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Critics are calling Marty Supreme a full-throttle masterpiece and the best movie of the year. I couldn't be more excited to see this one. That's got my boy, Timothée Chalamet. From A24 and starring Timothée Chalamet alongside powerhouse cast Gwyneth Paltrow, Odessa Ozion, and Tyler Acoma. Marty Supreme, now playing only in theaters.
If you could stop somebody from breaking in before they got inside your house, why wouldn't you? Most old school systems only go off after somebody's already in your place, opening your fridge, petting your dog, whatever. At that point, it's too late. It's reactive. Simply Safe is different. It's proactive with this double layer of defense that helps stop crime before it even starts. First, their AI-powered cameras spot potential threats outside, not just in motion, but an actual person lurking around in the bushes, behind a tree, in a car, under the car, wherever they may be. Then live monitoring agents jump in right away. They talk to the person through the camera, let them know they're on video, and that cops are getting called if they don't leave. That's how you stop crime before it starts. Personally, I trust Simply Safe to protect what matters most at my house, my wife, my daughter, my possessions, my things, my home, my safety, my peace. I trust that to Simply Safe. That's it. That's the list. No long-term contracts, no hidden fees, and Simply Safe was just named the best home security in 2025 by U.S. News and World Report. Right now, it's the best time to jump in. Simply Safe's last chance Black Friday sale, 50% off any new system. Go to simplysafe.com/DLB. Again, that's simplysafe.com/DLB. There is no safe like Simply Safe.
Dan Le Batard.
Ahoy, it's Captain Slappy.
Stugotz.
Is this Chum Bucket?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Do you sing anything? Is that too much of making this a piano bar situation? Hey, Alan Thicke, do a dance for us. Like, do you sing? If we were to get you to sing a lyric from one of your theme songs, what would you go with?
It'll cost you, because I get royalty. This could cost you anywhere between 30 cents and a buck. But here goes, stand back. Well, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. gentlemen. Thank you. I hear I can hear the walking ovation.
He's saying thank you, but we sort of forced us. He sort of strong-armed us into applauding there. We weren't going to applaud, but he started taking bows.
No, I don't take any chances. I don't do encores. I try to milk it early on.
Would you like to hear the former president of the United States, singing "Facts of Life"?
That would be more than I could dream of.
You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life.
That's all we got for you.
I like it. I wonder what Mr. Bush is doing these days.
Alan Thicke with us on 790. I've been remiss here. His new book, Stugotz, How to Raise Kids Who Won't Hate You, bringing up rock stars and other forms of children. It is in stores now. This is a complicated one. I mean, it's hard to raise kids under any circumstances. It is got to be impossible to raise kids, Robin Thicke going into music, kids from television. I mean, you've seen with different strokes. Every kid who got fame on different strokes ended up being some kind of maladjusted.
I think it was because of the theme song. I think having to hear that every day probably sent some of them over the edge.
You drove them to...
You don't want to talk about your book? You just want to make a joke about different strokes?
No. Happy to promote the book, How to Raise Kids Who Won't Hate You. It's, first of all, a false premise. It can't be done. It was just to get people in the tent. We called it that. But I do believe that they're going to hate you for whether it's for a minute or a week or a month. But the idea is better to be a little more strict with them now. Make sure your voice resonates in the cacophony of the universe that kids are exposed to nowadays. Better to have them hate you for a week now than hate you for the rest of their lives as adults because you didn't do the right thing.
How to Raise Kids Who Won't Hate You, bringing up rock stars and other forms of children. Alan Thicke is with us on 790. You remember him as Mr. Jason Seaver, the father on good Lord, I just drew a blank there.
Growing pains.
I left you hanging there. I could have jumped in.
You could have, and you gave me no help there. Because I was thinking about the fact that I got stuck on Seaver because I happen to know, having dated Danielle Kuzman, that the Seavers and the Kuzmans live next to each other because I guess the guy who did the show is a huge Mets fan, right?
That's true too. The writers, when you write a sitcom, you get away with whatever you can, or the writers would go nuts in the writers' room for all the hours they have to spend there. So they did come up with some favorite names. For instance, the name of our high school was Dewey High School, and the name of the team was the Hooters. So the Dewey Hooters were the football squad of record, and their proudest moment was when they managed to nickname the other neighbors, a fellow named Stabone. They nicknamed him Boner, and they got that past the censors and went with that for 7 years.
How'd that happen? How were they able to get Boner past the censors?
Well, if you've seen some of the censors at the network, you'd understand how they would be somehow removed from contemporary colloquial sexual references.
How about this one, Stugotz? How about this one? The guy has written theme songs for Wheel of Fortune, Joker's Wild. He's written theme songs for Facts of Life for Different Strokes. He's an immensely famous sitcom dad, and he's got a son who's an accomplished musician. How about this one? The only thing he's failed at was he wanted to be a sports guy. He failed.
Oh, I did. I was. I played a little college football. I was a receiver and a punter. My career ended when I was in midair punting one day and got hit high and low from either side, and that was the end of my cartilage. So I became the football reporter for my university paper and wanted to expand that into a career covering the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the Canadian Football League, and I never made it that far.
So if I gave you, as a sports fan, if I gave you the ability to do something in sports right now as Alan Thicke, the job you would choose is what?
I would have something to do with hockey. I'd probably be the color commentator for the home games of the LA Kings.
That's what you go with, yeah.
Send somebody else on the road, but I'd be happy to do a little color commentary. I have some other Florida hockey history. I sang the anthem at the very first ever Tampa Bay Lightning home game.
Did you steal anybody's woman there, too, and marry her?
I was already womaned up at the time.
Alan Thicke with us on 790. We got to get this guy on more often here. Because you're Canadian, because you love hockey, we air the Florida Panthers games on our station, and our play-by-play announcer actually tries to spice up goal calls by throwing in random movie lines, music lines, TV lines for our listeners. I get the impression from Alan Thicke's sense of humor that he might actually really enjoy this. It might be something that he would do. Let's play a goal call for Alan Thicke here.
Stillman shot, rebound, they shoot, they score! Get in my belly! Ballard ties it up here. 12.
That's from Austin Powers. Let's play one more for Alan Thicke. One more.
Leopold, no look pass right out in front. He goes off him, right back, and he scores! It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Totally random.
I like that. I'll give you one. Le but de Canadien compté par Jean Béliveau, assisté Maurice Richard et Doug Harvey. Le temps de but, 5 minutes 23 secondes.
Wow, what a flourish there. You really got into that. How did you fail at this?
No, I've been a lifelong hockey groupie, and I paid the price for it. A couple of years ago, I had 5 teeth knocked out, and I'm still getting them implanted as we speak. I have another 2 months to go. They couldn't do them all at once, so they stretch them out for you.
What's your favorite sports television show?
Sports television show, well, I never miss, pardon the interruption, and Around the Horn. That's my appointment television every day.
God, how lame are you, Stugotz? Just throwing that up there to try and get me a compliment. Alan Thicke, thank you for being on with us. We very much appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get you around here more often. The name of the book, How to Raise Kids Who Won't Hate You, Bringing Up Rock Stars and Other Forms of Children. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Dan. My pleasure. We'll talk again sometime.
I hope so. Alan Thicke, be careful. He'll steal your women.
Quick break to talk to you about the official ticketing partner of the Dan Le Batard Show, Game Time. The NFL regular season is already winding down, and this is when the games get really good, and tickets are in high demand. Some of them really difficult to find, so why don't you take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with the Game Time app. I use it all the time because it gives me the advantage. That's right, sports fans, take the power back. It's the hack for grabbing amazing tickets in just a couple of taps. Super easy, super reliable. And with the Game Time guarantee, you're getting 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are included. What you see is what you pay. Do yourself a favor. Open up the Game Time app right now. You'll see tons of seats available, lower bowl, midfield, upper deck, and NFL tickets starting at around $100. Pick what you want. Tap, tap, done. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
All right, so apparently everyone is launching their own AI agents now. You get an agent. No, you get an agent. They're automating tasks, running workflows, making decisions, and occasionally absolutely wrecking your day. You know what I'm talking about. An agent deletes the wrong files, changes something you've never approved, or just goes completely off script, like it's trying to improvise its way out of a paper bag. And suddenly, you're the one stuck trying to figure out what went wrong unless you're using Rubrik Agent Cloud. Because here's the thing, AI is moving fast, like really fast. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that lets you monitor, govern, and rewind AI agent actions. One platform that lets you unleash more agents faster without fear that they're going to burn the place down. You get full visibility into what your agents are doing. You can enforce guardrails. You can actually quantify the risk. And if something breaks, you just rewind it. Like an undo button, but for AI. And that rewind happens in minutes, not hours or days. And if your business relies on AI agents, you need the ability to monitor, govern, and rewind their actions. Right now, Le Batard Show listeners get exclusive early access to Rubrik Agent Cloud. Head to Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com. Rubrik.com.
Those jingle bells remind me that holiday basketball is here. And when stars like Kobe White, Jalen Williams, and Tyler Hero start cooking, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you want to be. I keep singing that song when I do this read. I can't help it. But don't forget, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player goes down in the first half, you still get paid in cash. What? Is this true? This can't be really? Oh my God, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely real. If your player goes down in the first half, you still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Oh, yeah.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Dan Le Batard.
There is no question, Dan Le Batard show included, anybody else, that this guy is the best player on the planet. Whether he wins the Stanley Cup or the Conn Smythe this year, there is no question about it.
Stugotz.
Overrated? Wait, did someone say overrated? What's going on? Dan Le Batard, how you doing? Are we living in an altered world or what?
Oh, my goodness.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Alan Thicke joins us now. One of the great sitcom fathers of all time. Father in Growing Pains, friend of the show. Now, if you were talking to the Vancouver rioters, Alan, the way that you would talk to Kurt Cameron as a parental figure, you would tell Canuck fans what?
Well, I think that if their team was as tough and aggressive as the fans were in the streets, they would have had a different result. And I would certainly chastise the thugs and hooligans who gave Vancouver a black eye by running rampant in the streets afterwards. But I would like to point out, in celebration of the fans who were in the arena, if you notice, they continued to cheer and recognize the excellence of the Boston Bruins and Tim Thomas after the game was over. Good sportsmanship from fans who know their hockey and appreciate good hockey, and in turn, the Canucks, losers that they were, raised their sticks and in that circle of celebration and appreciation in tribute to their fans. And then we have the traditional handshake between the teams at the end. We always like to see that. Canadians and hockey fans are always proud of that tradition. And I wish that we would have seen some of that in basketball in Miami last week, as opposed to the total silence of the fans, the quick departure of the Heat, and no real sense of celebration, closure, and finality to the NBA playoffs until Deshaun Stevenson got arrested.
I was going to criticize you for being a sports gas bag until right at the end you came in with a little humor. I understand that they're calling Luongo LeBrongo.
Well, he certainly more than disappeared, and he had not a horrible game yesterday, but very shaky for the 3 that they lost. To be outscored by the Bruins 23-8 when you've got the regular season scoring leaders and the big men in nets like that is a pretty embarrassing way to go out. As you know, the Swedes historically were regarded as not being very tough in the final stages of any playoff. They used to say that the Swede could go into the corner with an egg in his pocket and come out with it unbroken. I don't know that that's true anymore, and the Swedes certainly acquit themselves well in international hockey. But they got out-muscled. They certainly, Boston beat them up pretty well. I go back to the old days of Orr and Esposito and more recently Cam Neely. real good pals with all those guys. Used to get to practice with them, and it's been a long time since Boston could celebrate. So happy for all of those guys.
Slow down.
Wait. You used to practice with Cam Neely?
Not Neely, but I played golf with Cam. But I used to practice with Orr and Espo, including in the old Boston Garden. And when they would come to L.A., I would be invited down, and it was kind of embarrassing. I would, they do the slap shot drill from the blue line, and I remember on one occasion, Jerry Cheevers actually taking off his goalie gloves and catching my slap shot with his bare hands. Pretty much speaks for my. The Bruins were tough. They were known as the Big Bad Bruins. I was never a fighter. In midget hockey, I got in one fight and I got so scared I wet the other guy's pants. So nobody bothered me after
Wait a minute, Alan. In terms of career highlights, you're a huge hockey fan. I mean, where the perks that fame gave you, where does that rank? Where does it rank getting to practice with hockey legends?
Very, very high. Through no fault of my own, as no reflection of my hockey skills, I have gotten to play with on the same line with Howe and Gretzky, and at the 1988 All-Star game in St. Louis, I actually suited up and dressed for the pregame warm-ups and all. I have had lots of thrills through my affection for hockey. I'm a groupie. I'm a hockey groupie. It's the most fun I ever had with naked guys was playing hockey and being in the locker room.
Your funniest Cam Neely story, please.
You've got to have gotten like crazy drunk with Cam Neely, right?
No, not with Cam. I do remember, I've been around on a few occasions with some guys, and you wondered if they would ever be heard from again after the night that we had. But no, nothing scandalous with Cam.
I want to hear. Go
names.
ahead, Alan Thicke with us on 790 The Ticket. I want to hear you rank celebrity perks here, because when you're talking about, as big a hockey fan as you are, when you're saying I got to practice with Bobby Orr.
It's incredible.
What celebrity perk do you put above that? Give me the one you put above that.
That's right up there. Most recently, meaning just this past February, I played in Gretzky's fantasy camp, which I do every year, and had the win. Was on the winning team, Wayne played with us for a while, as he did with the other teams. But to win something with Gretzky on the ice, that was a big deal. I had my nose broken while I was on the ice with Gordie Howe and Stan Mikita. That's pretty good.
Legends.
I've paid my dues. I've lost teeth and lots of scars, mainly because I'm no good.
It's a funny visual.
I used to be a better puck ducker, and that's slowed down. I get hit once in a while.
Did you ever hit any of them?
No, not that they would notice, I think. I've been laughed off. I remember big crunches from Terry O'Reilly, for instance, back in the Big Bad Bruins days. And I played with the Flyers. I put together the very first celebrity hockey team in L.A., and that was with my old pal Alex Trebek many years ago. And we played exhibition games.
Wait a minute.
We played fundraisers all around the country, and now it's a big deal, and we actually make money doing it. There are many more celebrities playing hockey nowadays. Tim Robbins, Dennis Leary are in many of the events that we play on the East Coast.
Wait a minute. Alex Trebek, he doesn't play, does he?
Well, he did. This was back in the 1920s, but I brought Alex Trebek to this country. I was producing game shows for NBC. Alex and I were pals, and we put together that first team. Michael J. Fox played a lot with us back in those days. So we've paid our dues, and I was in fact the last great Canadian riot, other than people waiting for Justin Bieber tickets, was in '93. And that was in Montreal when the Kings played, the only time the Kings ever made it to the finals. And Montreal won the Stanley Cup that year. and I was there for the last game. And we went and got in the limo. I was with Bruce McNall, the indicted owner.
Of course you were.
From the Felons Division of the NHL. And we got in the limo afterwards, and the riot started. And guys were jumping on the hood of our car. It was a life-threatening experience. They're bouncing the car up and down. And these were the winners. So this is when the last time a Canadian team won. So you can imagine how they felt in Vancouver when they lost.
Well, help us out with something. Were you more embarrassed for the city, for the team, for country, or for sport last night?
It was embarrassing for the city and to some extent for the country. You know, it's a great city, and they didn't behave like this when they won the national or the international event at the Olympics. So you wonder why they were such bad sports. But, you know, again, the fans inside the arena, the true hockey fans, acquitted themselves very nicely. The thugs outside, it was looking like a soccer crowd for a minute.
You are a huge sports fan. Were you rooting for or against LeBron James? How did you feel about everything that happened with LeBron James?
You know, I had mixed feelings. I think that the press is incredibly sensitive when they get all excited about, Dwayne and LeBron walking through the hallway, mimicking Nowitzki's cough, after Game 5 or 6, and about the things that LeBron said, the final press conference after the final game. I mean, come on, get over it. Have a little sense of humor. Lighten up. The guys certainly paid some dues and got well remunerated in return, of course. But I was kind of pulling for them up until the finals. I had to go with my demographic in the finals, which is pulling for all the old guys like Jason Kidd, who won't get another shot possibly, even though he says he's going to play for a couple more years. But I had to pull for the older guys in the end, also knowing that LeBron and those guys are going to be around for years to come, and they'll win their share.
Alan, always enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for regaling us with just amazing hockey stories. And then you stuck Alex Trebek in there, and then Michael J. Fox, and then Bruce McNall is there, and you're in a limo, and you're at a riot. Just incredible, just tremendous. Like what's the story Alan Thicke whips out? Not sports related, just cocktail party. You're married to a hottie now. You met her here in Miami. The cocktail party story that Alan Thicke is telling in order to impress everyone in the crowd is what? Because you just told 10 of them.
Well, and by the way, that's my limit for a day is 10. I don't know if I have another one. You'd have to invite me back.
All right, we'll do that.
But then. I will. I'll just go out by apologizing for the Canadian thugs outside in Vancouver, and we were sorry to see all that beer wasted. Where the land of Moosehead, where Moosehead is more than a beer, it's a way of life. Remember that. That's how we feel in Canada, where we can stand on cars and actually see Sarah Palin's house from downtown Vancouver. We like our hockey. We like that city, and it was unfortunate that was the picture we had to leave you with.
See you later, Thicke. Always good talking to you.
Thanks, Dan. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Alan.
Quick break to talk to you about the official ticketing partner of the Dan Le Batard Show, Game Time. The NFL regular season is already winding down, and this is when the games get really good, and tickets are in high demand. Some of them really difficult to find, so why don't you take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with the Game Time app. I use it all the time because it gives me the advantage. That's right, sports fans, take the power back. It's the hack for grabbing amazing tickets in just a couple of taps. Super easy, super reliable. And with the Game Time guarantee, you're getting 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are included. What you see is what you pay. Do yourself a favor. Open up the Game Time app right now. You'll see tons of seats available, lower bowl, midfield, upper deck, and NFL tickets starting at around $100. Pick what you want. Tap, tap, done. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.